So in that third level, the level of conceptualization within that neurosemantic language learning theory, those are all your concepts, right? And so in that third level, what you're going to have is you're going to start with that sensory input, and you're basically going to take that sensory input and you're going to overlap it until you can begin to use it in relationship to yourself, and then you're going to use it in relationship to others, and then you're going to use it in relationship to society or culture. Okay? So when I take in the sensory input from the first two levels, and all I can do is recognize that sensory input, we have a sensory input and a motor output to it, and that's your sensory motor stage. Okay? Really not a lot of conceptualization at that level, because you really only have like 0 to 2. And what you really have at that level is basically an input through the receptors and an output. Reaching, grabbing, pinching, biting, throwing, kicking, whatever it happens to be. But if I get enough of these overlapped sensory, neurosensory inputs, then what happens is that I begin to relate them to what I know. And what I know is my pre-operational level of understanding. Okay, so this is who I am, and this is how I act on the world around me. And I'm about 3 to 7 when I can do that. Okay? So I'm going to tell you about what I see in the picture. I see the fruit that's going to make the pie. That's what I see. Okay? And so I tell you about that. But that really wasn't the original question for this kid. The original question was a concrete question, which is, you're looking at a picture of several people here who are doing something together in an event, and they all have their ideas of what they are, and I want you to tell me about these people, and there are rules for doing that, and that's called concrete. So the picture as an event by itself really is a concrete level of thinking. But when I put the kid in her own picture to tell us about it, to draw about it, to write about it, that kind of thing, then this is pre-operational. And she's going to draw out or think about perhaps one of the boys and what this one boy is going to do when he takes the orange off of the shelf. Okay? And when he takes the orange off of the shelf, because he's thinking about putting that orange, that's going to be small, into a bag, okay? Then the other oranges that are sitting next to it, they begin to roll off and onto the floor, and the boy is thinking about having to pick up the oranges that are rolling and put them into the bag, okay? So this is actually kind of like a cartoon, and we can take my words now and we can actually write them down below. And we can do that for each person in the picture. We can do that for the kids in the classroom. We can do that for an event that we want to do in the classroom. We can do it for behavior. We can do it for social kinds of things. But the bottom line is we're going to put people in their pictures, okay? And we're going to have them walk through those cartoons, those pictures, and get themselves in the picture in order to see other people in the picture. Does that make sense? So the purpose of a cartoon is to get the kid and what they can see into the picture, overlap those pictures to raise the thinking to this concrete level. Everybody follow me? This, I'm dependent on the world around me. This, I'm independent. Huge difference.